Oh, what's up, guys? Just enjoying some homemade French fries here. You can see they're garlic herb fries. Maybe one of these days I'll show you how to make these because they're pretty good. But today's not that day. Alas, today these fries have me feeling a little bit nostalgic. See, I love dipping my fries in barbecue sauce. This is a pretty decent barbecue sauce. It's not my favorite. And in fact, the one I'm nostalgic for right now isn't my favorite either, but it was really good. Allow me to flash back, if you will. Long ago, in a time before hipsters were even a bad dream, there existed a magical, wonderful place called Bennigans. Now, Bennigans was famous for several items, including their baked potato soup and their batter-fried Monte Cristo. Gosh, I do miss that Monte Cristo. But there was one other item on their menu that I absolutely adored. I don't think it was around that long, though. Regardless, it was delicious. The item I'm talking about is their Guinness Glazed burger.
It's Some Guy Who Could, starring Brett Picorni. Featuring Brett Picorni. Guest stars on the show include Sal, Peppy, and the lovely Paula. Today's episode is brought to you by Brett Picorni.
That Bennigans Guinness Glaze burger was something else. Quite frankly, I don't even remember everything that was on it. I just remember that Guinness Glaze. It was very special. It was delicious, and from what I can tell, very simple too. So, in case you haven't figured it out yet, today I'm going to be making the Bennigans Guinness Glaze, or at least my take on it, as close as I can get to what I think it was. The recipe I'm going to follow today is actually borrowing from one of my own recipes. Now, in my memory, I remember the Guinness Glaze was very sweet, and it had a fair amount of caramelized onion in it. So I'm going to slightly alter my bourbon brown sugar glaze, which I will make for you guys in a future episode. But anyway, I'm going to alter that just the tiniest bit so that we can make a Guinness Glaze instead. So what are we starting with? We've got about a tablespoon of butter that we're going to use, followed by a cup of brown sugar. Then, of course, we also need our beer, and, it's a Guinness Glaze, so I should use Guinness, but instead, I'm going to go with a local brewery. They're called Blackadder Brewing Company. It's my favorite brewery in the world, and they have this amazing stout called the Shadow. Quite frankly, it's surprising that I haven't drank all of this already, but I knew I needed to save some for this recipe. So anyway, a cup of beer, ideally a stout, so go out and get yourself a Guinness, or if you have a stout that you like, you can grab that too. Anyway, we've got our stout, we got our butter, we got our brown sugar. Those are the three big ones. We're also going to have some onions, nice and chopped up fine, that we're going to caramelize before we add anything else. And that should be it, but I want to kick this up a notch. So about half of the glaze I'm going to set aside to be that original Bennigan style glaze, and the other half I'm going to add some chipotle peppers. I mean, if you haven't already gotten an idea of what I'm like, I love chipotle peppers. I love their smokiness and their spice and everything they do to everything. They're so good. So of course, I want to take this Guinness Glaze and ramp it up a little bit. Vroom, vroom, baby. So, those are our ingredients. Let's grab a pot and get started. So the way this really works is you kind of brush or paint this onto whatever you're cooking, whether it's a burger like Bennigan's or chicken. And what's going to happen is the sugars in this glaze are naturally going to caramelize and give you a crispy sort of exterior. So it's almost like an alternate form of candying the outside of the burger, if you will. Seriously, my brown sugar bourbon glaze is phenomenal on chicken. It crisps up that skin, and it's perfect. This is still simmering because I want to cook it down a little bit more, but not too much more. But in the meantime, you can see it, like I said, it's still soupy, but man, oh man, is it good. Real hot, but let's see here. And I'm going to get some of these onions too, just to taste it. Oh my. That is about how I remember it. That is super good. So I'm going to turn off the heat because honestly, it's not going to cook down enough where it's going to be like a syrupy reduction. it's gonna stay soupy like this. And that is perfectly okay. It's just gonna keep concentrating the flavor the more we do it. But in the meantime, I wanna get some of these chipotle peppers in here. Like I said, it's pretty much exactly as I remember, but I also wanna get some of this smoky flavor to see what it can do. Of course, I didn't add all of them because that is a lot of chipotle, but a decent little amount there. Let's see. Ooh, I'm digging that smell. Let's crank this heat up a little bit more so they can simmer some more. Now, while this is simmering, I'll go ahead and tell you there are a couple ways you could thicken this if you really wanted it to be a sauce instead of a glaze. One really easy way, mix a little bit of water and cornstarch, get it real well mixed, and slowly drizzle that in while you cook it and stir it in. Cornstarch is a great thickening agent. Personally, I'm not huge on the flavor it adds, but if you want this to be a sauce instead of a glaze, it's probably your best bet. So let's go ahead and give it another little taste now that it's had time to mingle with the, oh yeah, look at that. Let's go ahead and give it another taste now that it's had time to mingle with these chipotle peppers. And I'm just gonna get the liquid this time. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh, that little bit of a kick. Absolutely perfect, and it adds just the slightest touch of smoky flavor. Oh, that is perfect. I guess I know what I have to do next. I gotta make you guys some burgers. As you can see, guys, that was super easy and super quick to make, and that's not coming from a professional chef. I'm just some guy who cooks. You're still here? Oh, you guys, you do care. Well, as long as you're still here, I hope you wouldn't mind hitting like and subscribe, because both of those would help me tremendously. And if you could also, share it with your friends. Spread the word, comment below as well. Till next time, guys.